You gotta kick it off with a killer to grab attention. Then you gotta take it up a notch.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
Who are you? I'm Shiva, the god of death.
Cells. Interlinked.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Hey y'all, welcome to Debaser, a film podcast. I'm Willie T, and I'm joined by my co-host, JR.
That's me.
On this show, we explore both new and familiar movies as we attempt to analyze and interpret them, all in an effort to debase the films and ourselves. Spring break. Hey, man.
Will, for someone who just saw this movie for the first time like 20 minutes ago, that was a really good impression.
Thank you. I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at mimicking people. Hold on.
That was really good.
You know that my favorite Marvel character is Taskmaster?
Yes.
Whose ability is perfect mimicry?
That's right.
Why do you think I resonate with that character? Anyways.
There is an idea that is Will Taylor.
He reads only Taskmaster-related comic books and nothing else.
As you're peeling your face mask off.
It's actually the skull mask that Taskmaster wears.
Of course.
Keep it going, baby. All right, so I'm sure you guys are wondering why the fuck I'm talking like a literal weirdo, and that is because we travel all the way down from I-75 Ocala to St. Pete, Florida, baby, for spring break.
Gers.
Some people, they want to do the right thing. I like doing the wrong thing. Everyone's always telling me, yo, you gotta change. I'm about stacking change, y'all. Stacking change. That's it. Money. I'm about making money. That's the dream, y'all. That's the American dream. That's it. I did it. Most of my brothers and sisters, they dead. It was all bad. We got murdered. I'm the last one standing. I'm bad as they is. Just in our blood, y'all. But I love it. This was my dream. I made it come true. This is the fucking American dream, y'all.
So, Jared, I had not seen this 2013 film when it came out in 2013. I remember seeing the advertisements for it.
Right, it had a huge marketing campaign, and we were prime age for this movie at the time.
23, 22.
Yeah.
Let's hear about 2013's Spring Breakers.
So, Will, we watched Spring Breakers, which is a 2013 film written and directed by Harmony Korine. It stars James Franco, Vanessa Hudgens, Selena Gomez, Ashley Benson, and Rachel Korine, wife of director Harmony Korine. It follows four self-destructive young women in college that travel to Florida for a raunchy spring break and are further corrupted by an eccentric southern white rapper called Alien, played by James Franco. With all that said, it's honestly more of a tone poem than like an actual narrative film, I would argue.
A tone poem, what is that?
So a movie where it's just vibes, baby.
Oh, yeah.
so put it in a...
This movie is 100% vibes.
Current nomenclature.
I was going to say the exact same thing, like straight up, but I didn't know there was like an actual verbiage for that.
So you can refer to a film as a tone poem where, you know, you've been in this position. You try to explain a film, but by just giving the plot details to someone does not succinctly summarize the film. Like
Right.
It doesn't give the feeling that the film has, you know, like yeah, they, you know, it's about these like four girls that go on a wild spring break party and then end up becoming like, you know, criminals.
Yeah.
But like just saying that doesn't tell you what this movie is.
Right.
You know, this movie is cocaine, it's neon lights, you know, it's
Skrillex.
it's Skrillex and Ellie Goulding, you know,
and boobies.
and Britney Spears.
And I want penis with a heart around it.
It's exploitative. It's transgressive. It features two Disney child stars and their first R-rated roles, in which they're frequently only wearing bikinis. And that alone caused the paparazzi to constantly hound the cast and crew while they were trying to film this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The director, Harmony Korine, are you familiar with him at all?
No, and I was going to ask you so many fucking questions because, as you stated right before we started the film, like, this guy's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
Yeah, he's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the rest of his movies are kind of weird. And he strikes me as a little bit of a pervert.
I haven't seen all his movies, but
Yeah.
I understand this to perhaps be his least weird movie.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm dead serious. Although his follow-up was The Beach Bum, which I think was a more successful commercial hit. His follow-up film to this was The Beach Bum, starring Matthew McConaughey, which I think was a bigger commercial hit than this.
Okay.
And this was his biggest hit at the time.
Yeah.
But he is a very small, like, indie, artsy film director who made movies like Kids and Gummo, Trash Humpers.
Wait, Gummo, like the song? Gummo? There's a... I don't know where it comes from, but
don't know
one
the
of the...
song
I
either.
used to work at a warehouse, and one of the guys kept calling me Gummo.
I hope he wasn't...
I hope he wasn't either. I think it's a 6ix9ine song.
Oh, okay, maybe. I hope he wasn't saying, like, you look like somebody in Gummo.
No. It wasn't that.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea. Anyways.
Because you liked this movie,
Yeah.
I think you should check out, like, Gummo.
Okay. Sure. I'll find it. Yeah, I'll
it's
find
weird.
it. I don't doubt that at all.
I was introduced to Gummo and Kids by friend of the show, Aaron Meadows. So shout outs to him.
Shout out to Aaron.
We ran, the high school film club, when we were
I bet
when we
you
were high school.
did. I bet you fucking did.
We screened Donnie Darko, Unbreakable. We're a bunch of weirdos.
Love it.
So in the film, we open on a wild spring break beach scene with young people partying and drinking and taking off their tops.
To a Skrillex song.
To a Skrillex song.
At the moment that...
which instantly riled you up.
Oh, dude, I fucking loved Skrillex back when he first... What was his name? Sonny Moore. Back when... Because Sonny Moore was like one of the screamers From First to Last.
Okay.
And I remember being introduced to Skrillex by my buddy Nathan. He was
Yeah.
like, hey, you know that shitty emo band we used to listen to? Well, the screamer guy does techno now, and it sounds like this. And it was
Yeah.
like the fucking start of mainstream dubstep.
Right, the whole dubstep movement,
Yeah.
which was like such a thing at that time.
Yeah. And I know those chords like the back of my hand. And the moment I heard it, I was like,
funny.
oh, fuck, this is 100% 2013
Yeah.
for sure.
This scene on the beach and like the subsequent party scenes in
Yeah.
the film were actually shot in St. Pete. And they used a lot of like, locals as, background artists and even girls from the local Hooters and strip clubs nearby, which explains
I hope that they got
all
paid
of the
well.
topless scenes. I also hope they were fairly reimbursed.
Because those boobies are there forever.
The boring college that we see the girls attending at the beginning is not supposed to be in Florida because they're saying, hey, are you going down to Florida later for spring break?
Right, but you said it's...
It's actually shot at Ringling College, which is in Sarasota.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Because I saw a banyan tree in the front, and I was like,
Yeah, it looked like Florida. I was
Yeah,
like,
it
oh, that's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also see a scene of Faith, played by Selena Gomez, at a youth group at her church. Her youth pastor is Jeff Jarrett, who folks may know as the wrestler Jeff Jarrett.
oh,
I do not like.
He just goes by his own name.
Yeah, he's just Jeff Jarrett.
My favorite thing that he was like, he's doing the amped, cool youth pastor
Yeah,
thing.
you're like jacked for Jesus
Yeah, it
or
says,
something.
are
yeah.
you jacked up on Jesus?
Jacked up on Jesus? That's it. Yeah. Honestly, his wrestling shtick isn't all that different from like a youth pastor, and
Are you fucking
'cause
serious?
he's clearly too old to be wrestling, but
Yeah.
he still like walks around like he's hot shit and like beats people up with a guitar. I hate him.
I love
but
it.
like his whole thing is like you love to hate him. He's
Right.
like, oh, this guy fucking sucks, and he like ruins segments.
It's a good heel.
Yeah, he's a good heel. So this film marked the end of the indie sleaze movement, which was an aesthetic period that started during the Great Recession. So like when we graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
And this included everything from like scene, twee, emo.
Indie sleaze. I thought that was like, you're going to say that's a movie genre. Is that a movie genre? Or you're just talking about like...
No, it's just a general movement in culture, like
Right.
all kinds of art, music, film, photography, even fashion.
So you're saying that like in 2013, emo
we
died?
lived it.
Oh, I know we lived it.
Yeah.
But I still live it. I still walk around in all black. Still got the long hair. I peaked in high school.
Some of us never shed the
Peaked in high school, baby.
the culture in which we,
Yeah, the V-mirror.
became adults in, maybe.
Yeah. That's me for sure.
Uh,
Emo's not dead.
When I hear indie sleaze, for some reason, all I can think of is LMFAO.
God, rest in piss.
Not that I think they're indie, they're just sleazy.
Yeah.
The uncle and nephew band that is basically personifying the culture in this movie.
Yes.
So the director, Harmony, intentionally wanted the camera to always be moving through scenes in this film. It never really settles down or stops. It's essentially just floating all the time.
Except when they frame the sun and the moon. Do you notice that?
Oh, no.
Those are still
Didn't pick
shots.
up on that.
Yeah, like those sequences really encapsulates the beauty of a Floridian skyline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah,
they bathe the world in these beautiful pinks, purples, and blues. I mean, one of the moons that they've got is like the blood moon, right before the bad shit that happens at the end.
Which listeners may know if they play Tears of the Kingdom is when all of the enemies reset and Zelda gives you a very creepy cutscene warning you of this fact. Sorry,
you,
that's a
Jared.
shout out to my
Thank you,
Breath
Jared.
of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom players.
We really appreciate that. All of them actually. Everybody's playing that fucking game.
Listen, it's in the zeitgeist. It's a
Yes,
hot game.
I
Okay.
understand. All right. That'll definitely get more people to listen to it. Actually, you should put hashtag Tears of the Kingdom in the fucking description.
Yeah, and just you got to listen 10 minutes in to even figure that one out.
Okay.
No, this.
Yeah.
Like you're saying though, this film uses a lot of beautiful shots
From Florida.
of Florida.
Specifically.
And the film is both ugly and beautiful at the same time. Not unlike Florida.
It's
So
fucking true.
This film is very evocative of Florida in all the best and worst ways, truly.
Yeah, it definitely captures it. It's
Yeah.
definitely more Floridian than Crawl, for sure.
When we were deciding on what films to cover for this month, I was like, Spring Breakers has got to be on this list. It is.
I'm very happy it is.
It's a weird movie, but it is a quintessential Florida movie.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
So a lot of the dialogue was sort of improvised in the moment, especially like with the girl singing Britney Spears. A lot of that was organic. And,
Okay.
it wasn't heavily scripted.
Yeah.
The actors were encouraged to improvise their lines and their scenes.
Yeah, I can tell. And the reason why I say that is
Yeah.
because, like, when you're watching the film, it does feel like the film is just vibes, general.
Yeah. It's just kind of happening in front of you.
Exactly, everything's happening. And so when I asked you, or maybe no, I didn't ask you, but I stated there's a lot of ADR over
Yes.
over the thing, and you said that it was almost on purpose. They kind of had to take everything that they filmed and branch it all together into an actual story.
Right, because listening to the commentary, the film was originally intended to be much longer, but it's only an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I think that was, both constraints of the budget and, this was actually Harmony's biggest budget movie at the time.
Really?
It was $5 million, which was huge for him because he makes like micro budget movies.
Gotcha.
But I think he wanted to, apparently he shot hours and hours and hours and hours of footage. Like there were scenes that just went on for 30, 45 minutes that he wanted to use, but
Yeah, I don't.
that is the medium of film. You have to cut.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
90 minutes is like the sweet spot for most movies.
I think that his editors had to like work overtime to sift through all the garbage that they not saying that like, what they filmed was garbage, but like just
and
hanging
that
out
is
on the
true
beach.
of many more films than you think too. That
Sure, yeah.
sometimes things are just made on the editing room floor.
I gotcha.
But there's a lot of scenes where you can tell they're just showing scenes and then moving on to
Other sequences,
Yeah.
other like
we're seeing other sequences, and there is an 80-yard line to be like, now we're doing this and now we're doing this, and it's like, oh, they're just trying to move it along because
Yeah.
they didn't have a transitional scene for this or to explain why they're doing this now or
makes
et
sense.
cetera.
Yeah.
Okay. I already dropped this bombshell on you while we were watching the movie. So I did not know this before proposing this movie for this month.
Yeah.
But like our last film, Crawl, Spring Breakers was also Quentin Tarantino's favorite movie of the year.
That's right. The moment that you said that, The moment that you said, I didn't. Does he announce his favorite movie?
Yeah,
of the
he
year
puts
every
out,
single
like
year?
Barack Obama, he puts out a list every year of his favorite films that year.
And in 2013, Spring Breakers was on his list.
It was 2012 or 2013.
Gotcha.
He probably saw it in
I cans,
2012.
yeah.
Knowing him. But it was his favorite film of the year that year, and Crawl was his favorite film of 2019.
And it all had to do with feet. I'm assuming.
I mean, there are some feet in this, but not like it's not. It doesn't stand out to me. It wasn't gratuitous. Mm-hmm. But there were a lot of everything else.
That's true.
So that maybe is what did.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna be really upset.
It wasn't the artistry. It was purely the naked woman that he wanted to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really upset if you tell me that The Florida Project was Quentin Tarantino's favorite film of like 2017.
I mean, we shall see.
I'm gonna be fucking floored because he might as well just move here at this point. Anyways, continue. That one. When
I think
you
he's
said
a Los
that,
Angeles guy through and through, though.
yeah. When you said that, I wish all of our listeners could have been in the room.
Yeah, I was
with me because
I was shocked when I read it.
losing my fucking mind over it. It was 2 out of 2 in a row.
You got up and walked away from me.
I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. I could not believe it.
You'll love this fact.
Uh-huh.
This was the first feature of production company A24, the much beloved and previously discussed indie movie company that's released films like Lady Bird, Moonlight, The Florida Project, The Witch, and Ex Machina, just to name a few.
Yeah, this was their first.
Their first feature film,
That's crazy, man.
isn't it? Yeah,
That's wild.
And it was in partnership with Annapurna,
Right.
Who is
They also do indie films apparently.
right. A24, Annapurna, and Neon are kind of the three like hot indie movie distributors. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to put Blumhouse in that because they have more misses than hits by far.
I'm gonna try to remember this.
Yeah.
At the end of this episode, but I have something to say about Blumhouse.
Okay.
At the end of the episode.
Okay.
So don't let me forget.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a little tease.
It's a little tease.
All right.
So you gotta go all the way to the end.
Apparently, Selena Gomez's mom told Selena to audition for this film, as Selena was looking to move into more mature adult roles after her long stint as an actress for Disney. And Selena's stipulation for the film was that she would not appear nude.
Which is a perfectly good stipulation.
And she does leave about halfway through the film.
Yeah, but that's because she's racist. Allegedly.
Okay,
We'll get to it.
good segue.
Oh, we'll get right to it?
So
Okay,
that
cool.
scene in the pool hall,
Yes.
there's a scene where the girls are arrested because they're involved in a hotel spring break party that gets a little out of hand.
They've got narcotics. They're doing narcotics.
Right. It's never. That was what the charges are. Did you
Yeah,
actually
they
hear
said
it?
like you were using narcotics, but you were not caught holding or in possession
Right.
of
So
the
they're just getting
narcotics.
cited.
Yeah, they're getting fined.
Anyway, that's when James Franco's alien shows up. Alien. Whatever.
Alien.
He shows up and bails him out of jail. Mm-hmm. And that's like 30% into the movie. It's
It feels like that, yeah.
Yeah. So James Franco bails them out of jail and says that, like, hey, I want to show you around. And he takes them to a pool hall, and they're just hanging out with James and a bunch of guys in this place. I think they're almost all black.
They are all black
like,
except for
3 or 4 people.
The other 2 dope boys. 'Cause
Right,
that's the name
the
of the
ATL
band.
twins, James Franco, and
the-
Dangerous.
Yes, Dangerous, the other dope boy.
Right. What the rapper that James Franco supposedly based his character on. But
They
I'll
had
get to
him in
that.
the film? Oh my
I'll
God.
get to
Okay.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So in this pool hall, the girls are very uncomfortable, especially Faith, Selena Gomez's character. And, she's like, I want to go home. I don't like this. I want to go. Because it's just a little...
It's too real. It's not...
It's a little intense in there.
The spring break of it all is like
Yeah.
fake because those are all out-of-towners.
It's just
they're
a bunch of kids just drinking and partying. And
Exactly.
here...
It's the real Florida.
Well, yeah.
It's the real party.
We don't really see anything
They're not doing anything
happening,
wrong.
though.
They're not doing anything wrong.
They're literally
playing
just
pool.
shouting and playing pool.
Yeah,
though.
exactly. But
But the girls are expressing that they're uncomfortable.
because Selena Gomez is racist.
I mean, it's hard not to see that scene and think, oh, she's surrounded by like slightly older black guys. That's why she's uncomfortable. Yeah. That is how it comes across.
Yeah.
But anyway, apparently that was a real scene. Harmony had a different scene in the script and wasn't happy with how it was going. So he drove around, found this pool hall, and said, this is where we're shooting the scene now. Brought the cast in. Yes. And so a lot of those guys in that scene were really patrons of that pool hall. And the girls really were uncomfortable. And then the scene where James Franco pulls Selena Gomez aside into a different, it looks like a hotel room
with,
or something.
With Gucci Mane, yeah.
That was real too. And James Franco was told to like kind of provoke her a little bit and make her uncomfortable and be like, hey, why, like, what's wrong? Why do you want to leave?
That's why he's doing the hand thing.
Yes. Yeah. So that was, yeah.
Dude, that is...
I know.
That's shitty, but also very clever at the same time.
And that's why I call Harmony Korine exploitative for a reason.
Yeah. But he wasn't getting what he was looking for.
Yeah, but I don't like... Because, okay, apparently Vanessa Hudgens did not have a good time making this movie. And she has stipulated... And this is according to IMDb trivia and stuff.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong.
Sure.
I don't think she's actually come out and explicitly stated it in interviews or anything. But she had such a bad time with the sex scenes in this film that she has, like a writer going forward, that she will not do any more sex scenes.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe that's because this film could have used an intimacy coordinator, you know? I don't know that it didn't have one, but based on the fact that it was a small budget indie movie by Harmony Korine, they probably didn't have one. And for those that don't know, like an intimacy coordinator is someone that is on set of film and TV shows, other productions, where they can help make all the actors comfortable in an intimate setting, like a sex scene or what have you.
Yeah.
Just so that everyone knows their boundaries, what they're going to do, so that they're not caught off guard or uncomfortable or are being forced to do something they don't want to do. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Hollywood is famous for directors wanting actresses to be nude in the film when they don't want to be nude, and then they somehow get
blacklisted
or
forever.
Coerced into it.
Was he married to his wife that is in this film at the time?
Yes.
Okay, so he was like,
she had his last name at the time.
I gotcha. Okay, so he was like, "Hey, I need you to flash the tits and say you're never gonna get this, never gonna get this." I wonder if this movie came out after Borat. You never get this.
Oh yeah, it had to, because that movie was out when I was in high school.
Yeah, okay.
Because I remember, again, my buddy Aaron Meadows, that was his favorite movie in high school. So Franco claims that his character is based on rapper Dangerous, who has a cameo in the film. He's the other white rapper on stage with
the
him
other
with the
dope boy.
dreadlocks.
Yeah.
But many people, including me, think that he is clearly inspired by the rapper Riff Raff.
Who's Riff Raff? Wait, hold on. Is Riff Raff the American version of Ninja? Didn't you say? Didn't you make a mention of Riff Raff in our chat
I wouldn't
episode?
say that now, knowing how much of a piece of shit Ninja is.
Yeah.
But he looks exactly like James Franco does in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
His biggest song is Tiptoeing in My Jordans.
I don't know what that... I don't listen to that kind of music.
I'm going to drop it in here.
Yeah. What you yeah. Tiptoeing in my Jordans. I done came down. Tiptoeing in my Jordans. Just cop the Porsche. Tiptoeing in my foreign.
It's great.
And, oh, wow. What a great song. Oh, Jared...
He is legit.
Fantastic.
I will show you some videos later. He is legitimately, I think, pretty funny, and he just has like.
You're on record with that, by the way.
I know. I'm kind of embarrassed that I like him.
You should be embarrassed.
Really cool.
You should be embarrassed. He's really cool.
I wish I knew all his AKAs. You know,
man.
I can never remember stuff like that. But he goes by like 30 other names. Like
I'm gonna come over here one day, and Jared, you're gonna have like fucking cornrows on a goddamn money.
I would never.
On your fucking neck. You
especially after my tirade about white people having cornrows and.
I know. No shit, dude. When he came on the fucking screen. When he came on the screen, I was like, white person cornrows. And these people are from Florida.
So this movie, I was going to cut all this. But
two Floridians in film that are white with cornrows, Jared.
Well, nobody was Floridian in Crawl, I'm sorry.
Also, both movies, Tarantino's favorite films of the year.
Not a coincidence.
Weird.
So, Riff Raff himself was incensed about James Franco's portrayal.
Oh, really?
In this film. He felt it was also ripping off his image.
Yeah.
And threatened to sue James Franco and Harmony Korine for $10 million. Now, this suit never came to fruition. And Franco and Riff Raff seem to have made amends because a few years later, James Franco portrayed Riff Raff in one of his music videos.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so they're like buds now.
I love it. That's fantastic.
There's a lot of repeated dialogue in the film, and you even pointed this out to me while we were watching it.
Yeah.
Harmony on the commentary states that this was intentional, and it's to mimic looping electronic dance music that has like repeated samples and lyrics, because it's a vibes movie. It's a tone poem.
I actually felt a lot of the voiceover when it was coming to something like that. Like every time that James Franco's character, Alien, so fucking stupid, was talking, it almost felt like he was trying to write new lyrics for a new song. He was trying to make it into a song. So that does make sense. Like if a lot of the ADR was looping and intentionally doing that to be like EDM music,
Just to be repetitive,
then it also
for the sake of being repetitive.
Exactly. It also makes sense that the stuff that James Franco was saying was also almost lyrical in a sense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat. It's kind of also redundant, annoying.
Yes, and that is why this movie is so divisive. I
Yeah.
think among
Other things.
Other
'Cause I'm
things, like
telling you,
all
man,
the-
Harmony is a fucking pervert. Straight up.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
The first fucking 20 minutes when the girls are in the dorm, like, we're going to go down to spring break. Come on, let's have fun. He.
They're being overtly sexual.
And it's just like, I don't think normal girls don't act like this. I don't believe that.
I get the kind of movie that he's trying to show.
Yeah.
But both based on this and his other films, I certainly think he is a pervert.
Yeah, 100%. There's no way.
That's not to say that there isn't artistry there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least he's not like a Woody Allen kind of pervert where it's like go straight to fucking jail.
He's competent. He's absolutely
Yes.
competent. Like, as you're saying, the camera was intentionally always moving.
Yes.
Almost always moving, except for certain still shots.
It's moving from our lead actors to boobs, and then back to our lead actors, and then to a butt, and then back to our lead actors.
Exactly. But he knows how to frame a shot. He knows how to make things get bathed in this beautiful light in a lot of the different sequences.
But like a grimy, ugly light at the same time.
Yeah.
Which was
It
really
reminded
good.
me. It reminded me of like Neon Demon. Who's that guy that directed Neon Demon and Drive?
Nicholas Winding Refn.
Yes, he always does this with his films.
Yes.
And so when I was watching this, I was thinking of his
He's
style.
also, I think he might be a pervert too.
After watching Neon Demon, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. But I liked that film.
But he's like
lot.
a gore pervert, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he's something else entirely.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants. And clearly he's willing to do a lot of underhanded shit to get what he needs.
Yeah, you should check out Gummo.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Am I going to hate it? Am I going to call you up later and be like, Jared, what the fuck
No,
did
because
suggest that?
you liked this movie, so I think you should give it a shot.
I liked
but
the majority of this film.
It's not unusual for him to manipulate and exploit his actors, let's say.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You got one more note? Or are you good?
That was it.
Okay, man. I'm gonna fucking blaze through what I've written down.
Real
no,
quick,
go
you
ahead,
brought
yeah.
up Nicholas Winding Refn.
Yeah, I did.
Have you seen Only God Forgives?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's the one that I don't remember the most. Actually, I remember a good portion of Drive.
Yeah.
And I remember almost all of Neon Demon because I really loved that film because it was so
Wow.
like it was.
I was so let down by it.
Well, here's the thing. I think that, and not to make this whole episode about Neon Demon, but I think that's the point, right? I think that film is vapid because it's about vapidity and about aesthetics rather than substance.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that movie is about. So why would you expect anything but that?
Yeah.
That movie's good. I think that movie's meta, but it's fucking good. That's actually... It's hard to say that I like that more than Drive, but I really, really like that movie.
I think Drive will be his crowning
His magnum
achievement.
opus, yeah.
Yes,
He's
his
getting
magnum
like
opus,
he
yeah.
started off strong and he's going down just
Well,
like
no, he made
Blomkamp.
movies before that. Like he made the
did he?
Pusher trilogy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen any of the Pusher movies.
Man, we're just naming future episodes as we
Oh,
go.
okay, well, obviously.
I would love to revisit Only God Forgives with you.
Yeah, because that's the one I don't remember the most, but I know it's like Ryan Gosling. He's got like a hammer, right?
I don't think he had a hammer. He has like a samurai sword. But
He's got something, yeah.
so, like you were saying, you think Neon Demon is like a movie about
vapidity,
Well,
aesthetics.
I think you were going towards like subverting expectations a little bit.
No.
too. No. Okay.
No.
I was implying that. Sorry.
No. The moment from start to finish, like the moment that the movie ended,
Yes.
and all of us felt empty from watching it, I was like, oh, that makes sense, because like all of the people that were watching on film either are empty from being in the biz of being models and not having personality, or start off with, you know, meekness and losing themselves to becoming a high fashion person to fill whatever the person who's taking the pictures wants them to be, and losing themselves. And then, you know, obviously there's the different themes of aging out, beauty standards, what is youth, you know, what would you do in order to continue to be youthful, like having that X factor, like all of those themes are in there. But the overall from start to finish, I think, is about, you know, being nothing but aesthetics.
Yeah.
I really like that film.
Yeah. I should give it a second shot, because the first time I watched it, I just remember being disappointed. But
Yeah, we watched it together.
yeah. Oh, we did?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
me, you, Haley, and Courtney, we all watched
That
it
was a
together.
minute ago, then.
And I remember, whatchamacallit, you specifically being like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I liked that. And I was like, I fucking love that movie. That was great.
But I remember liking Only God Forgives.
Yeah.
But in a way that like it wasn't what I was expecting.
Right.
And I think I was projecting on you about your Neon Demon, because I think Only God Forgives is about subverting your expectations, because like, yeah, it was this follow up to Drive, and it
Right.
stars Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
But it just neuters him. He is not the driver.
Yeah, he's a completely
The
different
police
person.
officer Chang in it is the fucking driver in that movie. Like, he is the one that's like, you know, the devil with a vengeance, ready to kill anyone that gets in his way. And he's such a serious, because there's a scene where Ryan Gosling like asks the guy to box with him, and he's like wrapping his fists, and you're like, all right, here we go. Like it pumps you up, and you're like, this is going to be brutal. And Ryan gets the absolute
Shit beat out of him.
him.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to watch.
It's been so long. It's
Yeah.
really been so long.
We should
actually.
revisit it, because I
I'd
remember
love to.
like,
yeah, I'd love to.
man. So yeah, future episodes, baby.
Fuck yeah. All right, so
Yes.
couple things. So this movie takes place in St. Pete,
Yes.
and I wanted to shout out a couple things that you can do in St. Pete. There's a couple things that St. Pete is known for.
Okay.
St. Pete has the Dali Museum.
Yes, it does.
It has a bunch of like different art pieces of Salvador Dali. They also have a place called the Sunken Gardens, which I have been to.
Oh.
It's like it's a small garden. They've got a couple of different like water exhibits, including a very old and very giant alligator snapping turtle.
Oh,
Very cool. He's got a lot of moss on his back.
cool.
And then the last thing is the St. Pete Pier. They recently did a redesign, but
Yeah.
it was really cool. They had a small aquarium in there,
Yeah.
but it was a really cute aquarium. So those are places that I would suggest you go
Nice.
to if you go to St. Pete.
Is the pier covered in black lights at night, so that you
I
can walk
wish.
down with a pink ski mask and glow?
I was really hoping that some of these places would show, but it seems like most of this film takes place right after you get off of the Skyway Bridge.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, and the Skyway Bridge is a very prominent part of
Yes.
this film, almost like a gateway into Spring Break.
In and out of Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you have to drive for like another 6 or more hours to even get out of Florida from
Yeah.
that bridge, essentially.
It's
Yeah, how long
silly.
does it take to get to Georgia from there?
From that point on,
Yeah.
it takes 4 hours to get to Georgia, just like the Georgia state line from Winter Haven, and it takes
That's if you're making good time.
yes, and it takes an hour 45 to get from St. Pete to Winter Haven. So it's about 8 hours.
Yeah. Good God.
Man, so the things that I wrote down, I loved the soundtrack of this
Yeah,
film.
it's good.
It was quintessential 2013, like all the bops.
Dance music,
Yeah, man. It had Skrillex. It had Ellie Goulding, as you said. Had Porter Robinson at one point in time, which he is like a Canadian EDM guy. He got
Yeah.
started off in his basement.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. Some of the other just weird things that I picked up on. I loved how feral, at least two of the girls, like
Ashley Benson and
the
Vanessa Hudgens?
director's wife.
Well,
I know
she's
she's
the
like
second one to go home,
she
right?
gives up, but that's because
Yeah.
she got shot.
Well, yeah.
But her and Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Benson.
Yeah.
Those three girls are absolutely feral. It's almost like they were born in the woods, came out, learned like a little bit of society stuff, and then went back to the fucking jungle. But yeah, getting ready for spring break.
Like when they rob the chicken shack in the beginning.
Just before that, when they're like they're writing fucking like I want penis with a heart around it
while they're in class. Yeah.
While they're in class, it's just like everything that's on their mind is just so like it's just crazy, man. They're just crazy girls.
You were taking notes, but then she starts miming in the middle of class, like
I'm sucking a dick.
Yeah,
and it has spring break. At one point, one of the girls is watching a backyard fight video.
That's right.
Featuring Kimbo Slice. And I had not thought of... rest in peace, Kimbo, wherever you may be. I did not remember... Like, I haven't thought about Kimbo Slice in over a fucking decade. I used to watch those fights. Yeah. I remember when he made it into the MMA scene.
MMA, that's right. Yeah.
This is a big dude, and he could hit like a motherfucker. He was cool as shit. And then we have, like, montages of people doing bongs, but running through... Like baby dolls, baby bongs.
They were beer bongs. That's right. I was like, they weren't.
No, one of them was.
They would smoke joints, but
no, one of them had a fucking pipe running through a baby doll.
God.
Yeah, that was fucking gross. There was the restaurant robbery, and this actually was this was the moment that I realized that maybe there is something to this director because it was really well shot. It looks like it's all one take, and it's from the point of view of inside the car.
Of the getaway driver.
Yes, after, I think, what is her name? Cotty? Cotty is the director's wife?
Yes.
Okay. After Cotty drops off Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley, she kind of does a circle around the restaurant, and you can see...
She slowly drives around the restaurant.
Yeah.
And so the camera is...
fixed.
Like in the passenger seat, so that we can see what's happening inside the restaurant between like her face and the steering wheel. And so they're slowly robbing the restaurant, moving throughout it as she's driving past it so that it's perfectly framed so that we get to watch them like accosting the customers, taking from the register, like stealing from more customers on the other side of the restaurant. And then it culminates at, her reaching the back door of the restaurant. And then that's when they make their exit and come out and jump into the car. It's a great scene.
It's a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
It's really well done. At one point, you knew that I was kind of flabbergasted, and you turned to me and you said, "Hey, that's James Franco, baby." And it was James Franco as Alien. And I was...
He's rapping on stage at a big spring break party on the beach.
That one got me fucked up.
And you were like, "Oh, this is so bad. This is so annoying." And I looked over at you trying to see if you were... catching on.
I did not catch
it. Him. That's fucking him.
So stupid. Something that I noticed, and I forgot that this was kind of big after I got out of high school, was the reboot of My Little Pony was airing, and it was, a lot of people were watching it. A lot of adults were watching it.
Big time for bronies.
Adult men, yes. But it seemed that Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Benson's characters were also into My Little Pony, as it was on in the background of their camper, and also on... like while they're just hanging out in their hotel, and they're actively watching it.
Well, they're,
20 somethings.
If that.
You think that all of them are like in their teens at university? You actually think that?
I think they could have been between 18 and 21.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think they were in their 20s.
I don't think they were much older than 22.
Sure.
If that,
no, that's fine.
Honestly. Yeah. Like I get that in real life they may have been.
Yeah.
But they're, playing younger, obviously.
It's just very weird to see two feral women watching My Little Pony. That's all I got to say, okay?
I mean, it's,
yeah.
Considering the bronies at the time, the fact that
all that made sense.
Two women were watching it did not faze
No,
me.
the bronies made sense.
And also they're constantly
doing bad shit.
They're at the intersection of youth and adulthood.
This is true.
Throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like having them watch My Little Pony while they're getting drunk and smoking pot.
Oh, it's like a good dichotomy.
Robbing people. Exactly.
I gotcha.
Because that's the whole thing. That's the whole clash of this movie.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
They're trying to, live out their wild, youth. Mm-hmm. But they're doing some of the most extreme things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I did like that James Franco had 727 tattooed on him. Famously, 727 is the area code for St. Pete, which I thought was really neat. We had a montage of "Look at my shit."
What my most quoted line from this movie, I actually forgot it came from this movie. I've said it so much, because I saw this movie when it came out, and I like started saying that line a lot. And
Look
then
at my
I just
shit.
forgot it was from this.
This
but
is
whenever
my
I
shit.
show off like my video games or my movie collection or something, I just go, look at my shit.
I think that you did when you were showing me your fucking steelbooks.
I'm sure I've done
a
it.
month and a half ago. You're like, look at my shit, and I'm like,
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just become part of my vocabulary
Yeah.
now. It has changed so much that I don't no longer know where it derives from.
where James Franco's Alien ends and
my Jared
begins.
yes, exactly.
Makes sense. We get a great fucking scene in Alien's Enterprise bed where he's trying to seduce Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley
Yes.
Benson, and they pull a fuck. I honestly thought they had been planning to do this the entire time, but they seduce him and pull his guns on him.
Yes.
And like threaten.
Tell him that
almost.
we're gonna blow your head off
gonna
and take all your stuff. And he seems terrified.
Yeah.
He backs down. They start yelling at him like they do in the restaurant when they're robbing people.
Yes.
They're like, get on the fucking ground.
Yes.
Like, we'll blow your fucking head off. And they're like, we're gonna take all your shit.
And that
We're
was
gonna shoot you.
improvised. Some of the dialogue was improvised.
Some of it was. I do think that scene was scripted, but what was improvised was Franco blowing the gun.
No.
Yes. So he thought of it on the spot and
Just started
and was like,
sucking on the pistol, because I wrote that
Yeah.
down. He like James Franco gives a double blowjob to two pistols.
now, the scene that we saw may not have been the scene where it was improvised.
Right.
But he apparently did think of it on the spot and was like, what if I get turned on by like blowing the gun?
That's brilliant.
And like kind of turn it around for the girls. Yeah. And so he starts, they're sticking the barrels of the guns that they have in his mouth.
Yes.
And then he just starts miming like he's
giving it a BJ.
giving fellatio to the guns. And, all of them enjoy it. They get a kick out of it. And it really turns the scene around because they're not actually going to kill him. They're just threatening him because they're turned on by,
being powerful.
yes, turning the power back onto him.
Yep.
Or taking the power away from him, rather.
Yes.
But also just even the implication of violence, is what they're excited by.
Yes, because these two, once again, are feral. And then probably my favorite scene from this film, barring the restaurant robbery,
Yes.
is Britney Spears' what was the song's title? Fuck. You look that up.
When they're on the piano?
Yeah, when they're on the piano. So they go outside and James Franco is playing on the piano, and the three girls that are still left are in like a one-piece bathing suit, but they're wearing gym leggings that say DTF or down to fuck on the butts. And they're also wearing pink ski masks with unicorns, and they all have some sort of weaponry. And they ask him to play something like not hard, like something that has emotion to it. And James Franco,
The Britney Spears song is Every Time.
but yeah, James Franco plays Every Time by Britney Spears, and he starts singing it at first, and then all of the girls start singing it, and then they start playing the actual song.
They just drop in the actual song. Yeah.
To a montage of him, the ATL twins, and the three girls robbing a shit ton of people in
Going
slow
on a
motion.
robbery spree. Yeah. Just
It's-
like they're knocking over like spring breakers in their hotel rooms, which apparently is how he got his start as a small time criminal.
Right, because Gucci Mane says that.
Right. And so he has also since moved on to just like dealing drugs in a major way.
Yeah.
But he is encroaching on his protege's territory, who is played by Gucci Mane. We haven't said that yet.
We haven't said that. I was going to say something about, because you were like, oh, by the way, that's Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
But, hey, did you know that's Gucci Mane?
That's Gucci Mane. Yeah, we get that great montage of
Yes.
them. It's very artful. It's
great.
slow motion while Britney Spears is every time is playing.
Yes, for a long time.
They're like breaking into hotel rooms where like these kids are partying and doing drugs, and they're like, they tie them up, they point guns at them, they take their money, they're smoking their dope and stuff.
They beat him up.
They beat him up.
James Franco fucking pistol whips somebody.
Yeah, honestly, it's a fun scene. It's showing like how the debauchery of their spring break has evolved to like now major felony.
They're reveling in their violence.
Yes. And it feels like I think James Franco is also lashing out and doing this because he has a run-in with Gucci Mane in a strip club where it's a tense, confrontation where, we get a narration from James Franco saying that like, we used to be best friends. He taught me everything I know, but now we're enemies and he wants to kill me.
Also in a sing-song way.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's almost like he's writing a song on that one too. Yeah.
But it's because Gucci Mane is intimidated by him, you know, also selling drugs in St. Pete, you know, presumably because he doesn't want any competition now.
Yeah.
So he's like, why don't you go back to robbing Spring Breakers? And that is essentially what he does in the next scene with the girls.
It's true.
You know, I feel like there's a part of him that doesn't want to disappoint
He wants to
Archie, Gucci Mane's character's Archie.
I was gonna say don't disappoint the 3 girls that are with him because
that too.
they're reveling in the violence.
Because I think they want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to get excited by dealing drugs.
No.
We never actually see him do that.
Not
You
once.
just see him like, you know, supervising while the 2 twins like, you know, count it and like package it for him in a really nice apartment. But yeah, and then they have a run-in with Archie, Gucci Mane on the street. An intentional run-in that, you know, he threatens them and says that, like, you know, you need to stay out of my neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. What if I kill you right now?
And he goes, "Merry Christmas, bitch."
Yeah, and his hit woman in the passenger seat
Very progressive of him.
shoots at them with a fully automatic
Uzi.
machine pistol.
Yeah, it looks like an Uzi.
And one of the girls gets hit in the arm.
Cotty gets hit in the arm, and she's like, "Oh, bye-bye, Florida." And
Yep, and she goes home.
hold on. So one thing, were those 2 scenes where Selena Gomez and Cotty go home supposed to be shot the exact same way?
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't unintentional.
Yeah, because they both do the hand on the window. They're
They're both almost in the exact same seat of the bus.
Yeah, they both lie down on the bus too. They both go over the Skyway Bridge. It almost felt like
because they each reached their breaking point.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Oh no, I got shot in the arm. I got to go to bye.
And bought a bus ticket home.
Bye, Florida.
Even though their college is like
maybe
30
20 minutes
away.
down, down south. So then we have the really awkward threesome between James Franco and the 2 remaining girls. And also, I'm very curious if the thing that you read is correct, because James Franco is definitely wearing something to keep his wiener out of the shot.
You're supposed to wear a cock sleeve, yeah.
Because there's a point where the camera goes under the water, and like
we just see like
he's
thighs
supposed to
and
be
legs.
motioning that but either he's got an incredibly tiny wiener, or he's wearing something to keep it at bay, you know. Yeah, I'm just, you know, musing. I'm just telling you my stray observations.
Well, it was a short shot that you're talking about, but also
he's got a short penis.
Anyway, Vanessa Hudgens apparently had such a bad time doing it that she never wanted to do it again. So
supposedly,
take that for what
I'll
it
take.
is.
Oh well, I'm gonna say that one is definitely Harmony's. Yeah,
it's on him.
It's on him.
I agree.
If anybody has a bad time, it's because of that guy.
Typically, the director's fault. You know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe an actor took it too far, and the director didn't notice.
Maybe.
And hey, maybe James Franco got in trouble for some things like that after this movie came out. So
you never know.
Maybe it was him.
Maybe it was him. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Please don't sue us.
We have no money. Please don't. Anyways, and then, you know, we finally get at the very end of the movie where the trio go to assault Archie's stronghold, and James Franco dies immediately. But the 2 girls,
they immediately get off the boat, start walking down this very cool pink lit dock
with a black light behind them.
With the whole dock is. Oh no, you're right.
No,
it's behind the camera so that their green bikinis
shine
are illuminated by the black light. You're right. But the dock is all lit up in pink LEDs. Yes. And if you look very closely, you can see someone running down the dock.
Yeah, you can see one dude. Yeah,
and they shoot James Franco, who immediately goes down.
Yeah, he dies immediately.
The girls return fire and kill that guy, and then just move on to mow down everybody at Archie's mansion, and it is a pretty good scene.
It's a good scene, but it's unbelievable.
No, of course.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
To the point where I turn to you and I go, "Hey, Jared, I'm going to do the thing. Those 2 actually died on the pier, and what's happening is the fever dreams of diving."
I think you can make the argument that
all of it was a fever dream.
No, everyone there was so taken aback by
2 bikini girls,
2 little white girls in bikinis, walking up with Mac 10s, wiping everybody out.
Yeah.
Also, they're all just low-level drug dealers. They're not exactly hitmen.
Those girls are forces of nature.
Yeah,
they do not
1000%. Yeah.
They do not exist in humanity. They exist outside of humanity. They are literally the apex predator.
I disagree.
They are the apex predator. I don't think society can hold them any longer. I think that, whatchamacallit, they must return to whence they came.
Return.
You must send them back to the Everglades so that they can be a part of whatever swamp coven they've come from.
So, okay, you saying that now, what do you think happens to them after this film? Because for the listeners who haven't seen the film,
Yeah.
after they take out all of Archie's gang and Archie, they take his Lamborghini and just drive and make phone calls to their families about how, oh no, they just replay the phone call.
Yeah, they replay them because the phone calls were supposed to be like their last, because they assumed they were going to die.
goodbyes because they're telling their families like, we're going to be good now, life is great,
Yeah.
like I'm going to have such a good life, and it's just because life is what I make it and stuff
Right.
like that. And that's being replayed as they take this Lamborghini and they're just driving. It's not implied where they're driving to.
They're going to
Presumably-
the Everglades.
You think they're driving south?
They have to go to the Everglades because that's where hell has spawned them from.
Well, I'm saying I'm not sure if they're going back to college or they're going home, you know.
Oh, I don't.
Where are they going? Because
They're-
they look distraught. They do not seem pleased with themselves. They seem like they're coming away from a bad time.
You didn't think that they looked pleased?
No, they looked distraught, like I said.
Oh man,
they look kind
I
of
saw
strung out in the car.
I saw something different. I thought they were like very happy with themselves.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Because
Like,
they
where do you think they're going? Do they continue to be violent?
Oh yeah.
Do they just keep building, or do you think they just go back to school?
They do not
or
go
drop
back to
out of
school.
college and go home and act like nothing happened and just say, I had a bad time in college, I don't want to go back.
They
or-
can't go back to school. I don't think.
You really think so? You think they're forever changed now?
Yes, and they have the guy's car, which means that they've got the prints on the car.
Well.
So if they ditch the car, right, and they don't dispose of it correctly, and the car is found, where are authorities going to look first?
Yeah.
Their home. So they have to go somewhere else. The Everglades, because once you go into the Everglades, you don't come out, and nobody finds you. I'm doing a bit.
Okay.
Clearly, I'm doing a bit. But yeah, Jared, what did you think about Spring Breakers?
It's a cool film, but I couldn't recommend it without a lot of caveats. You know, like I described it in the beginning, it is a tone poem. It's a very interesting film that shows a side of Florida that isn't great, but is real. And while I'm glad I saw it, I don't know if I want to see more of Harmony Korine's films, because I can clearly tell that he is, you know, I feel like I'm overusing the word now, but exploitative.
Yeah.
Because not only does this film exploit sexuality and young women and extreme violence, you know, stemming from said young women, but also, you know, he's exploiting the intersectionality of black and white culture.
Yes.
There are a lot of white people appropriating black culture in this film, and it's not addressed. Like, it's just taken as fact. You know, and which is, you know, maybe that's not, it's too heady for this film.
There are people.
Right, this is a real thing.
Yeah, there is a real thing.
James Franco's character is clearly based on real people. And I think we all know somebody like that, at least one.
I know. I've got a couple friends.
You can go to the gas station here and you will meet 4 guys like that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
But it's not exploring that in an interesting way. It's just
that's not the
putting them out as fact. Well,
yeah.
But because of that, it just makes the film feel grimy to me in a way that, like, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to look at it. You know, it's hard to look away from it because it's fascinating.
Yeah, he's
weird.
He's good at doing what he does.
Yeah.
He's an expert in his craft.
And like I said, the film was very divisive. It was a huge hit when it came out, but it has like a 65 on Rotten Tomatoes and like a 40 or 50 something percent, you know, audience score or whatever.
Sure.
Because people just weren't sure what to make of it.
Right.
You know? It's mystifying. And I think you bring into it, you know, you get out of it what you bring into it, essentially. Like, how do you already feel about, you know, crime in Florida and, you know, young women and proclivity for vience?
How do you feel about Florida? No, that makes sense. That makes total sense. And I enjoyed the majority of the film. I really had to take the way that Harmony was filming certain aspects of the movie,
Yeah.
and kind of like put it at the door. Like, yeah, this guy is doing some weird shit,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's doing some really good shit.
Right. He is an artist
Yeah.
through and through. Like he's got some good artist discipline there. You can
Yeah.
tell. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was Spring Breakers. So let's now bring this into our Florida element. Jared,
Yeah.
myself, we both live in Florida, so we experience spring break for like 3 months straight,
At least.
at least. So, Jared, how do you feel about spring break? The idea.
Typically, when I hear spring break, I think I got a week off from school. So,
Originally, yes.
Yeah, and that means that, like, oh, God, finally, I get to stay home and play video games.
Exactly.
And when I was a kid, that meant I get to stay with grandma, so because my parents couldn't take off work and they didn't want me to be home all day.
Yeah.
So I would go spend a week with grandma, and it was incredible.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I got to bond with grandma. I would alternate grandmas.
Yes.
But I got to bond with grandma, get taken care of, hang out in a house that was different than my own, and really hole up in their guest room and play video games all week.
Hell yeah. Get that PlayStation Portable or your mini TV.
No, I'll tell you two very specific memories.
Let's hear it.
At two different grandma's houses. One, Majora's Mask, had come out that year, but had been out for a little bit, and I didn't have an expansion pack yet for the N64, which you needed to play Majora's Mask.
That's right, you did.
And I remember begging my dad for it. My dad actually had found a guy at a pawn shop that was selling an expansion pack, and he had Majora's Mask.
Lucky.
And so I was able to get it, and of course he didn't have to pay full retail price and all that.
Which is good.
And so I got to take my N64 to my grandma's house, and I remember hooking it up with the coax cable adapter to her little tiny TV, and just sitting in the guest bed, playing Majora's Mask all week and having such a good time.
Oh, I bet.
And then maybe a year or two later, I got to rent Donkey Kong 64.
Classic.
While I rented my other grandma's house.
Yeah.
And I holed up in my room listening to dance music.
Do you have an actual playlist of the
I
shit
have a
that you still
Spotify
listen
playlist inspired by all the 90s dance music
to?
that I
In
loved at that
1998.
time.
While you do that, spring break for me was also a week off from school where I could play video games, but I did not have. No, I had an N64 by this time, so we would rent stuff from Blockbuster. I think at one of the spring breaks I rented what was it, the Yoshi's Island?
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to run down a couple of songs.
Let's hear the songs.
Some of the best 90s dance music that I was listening to on the radio while I was playing Donkey Kong
Please tell me
64.
Eiffel 65 is on there.
Better Off Alone by
Of
Alice
course.
DJ.
Of course, I knew it. I knew that was going to be on there.
Rhythm of the Night by Corona.
Ooh, good one.
Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue.
Don't know that one.
What Is Love by Hadaway.
There's another great one.
Groove Is in the Heart by D-Light. Believe by Cher. I don't fucking care. That's a
No,
banger.
I know it is.
It's Not Right, But It's Okay by Whitney Houston.
Okay.
And special shout out to Sandstorm by Darude.
Oh, excellent. We're going to drop Sandstorm in? No, just kidding.
Sorry.
No, it's good. But yeah, or it was Yoshi's Story. And I remember
That was my first N64 game.
I stayed up way too fucking late. Do you still have it?
I used to. I think I sold it when we bought the house.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But so I played that shit for a day straight.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to sleep, and I got to a level where I lost all my Yoshis, and the last one I was using was the pink one, and I cry when they get taken away. I started
so sad.
I started
and they come and
bawling.
pick them up and fly away.
Dude, I started crying, and my mom was like, "You need to go to sleep. You are exhausted."
Yeah.
They took him to jail.
Did you ever get the black Yoshi?
No, I did not.
My cousin was saw me playing one day, and she's like, "Oh, do you have black Yoshi?" And I was like, "There's a black Yoshi," and she showed me where to find him, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" That blew my
tight.
mind.
That's fucking cool. So, Jared, now that we've shared fond memories of spring break, how do you feel about spring break now?
Sorry,
I know you're drinking. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of thinking about how sad it was that I have so many great memories about spring break. It's me holding up in a room playing video games.
Yeah. Hey, no, there's nothing wrong with that because I did the same thing.
That's my life.
Yeah.
That's what this room is. I don't know. Now I don't have seasons in my life anymore because I just work all the time.
Yeah.
And we live in Florida where we don't have seasonal change. Sometimes it's
It gets cold sometimes.
10, 15 degrees cooler than normal. And
Yeah.
then sometimes it's 90 degrees for 8 more months, or
Yep.
more. Yeah, I don't know. Spring break isn't really a thing. It's just there'll be that time of year where you'll think, oh, we should go to the beach and like take this weekend off. And then it's like, oh, wait, it's
Spring
going to be
break.
full of spring breakers.
Yeah.
Fuck, no, you know. And then you're like, oh, I'll just wait till they go back to school or something.
Let me tell you about spring break as a stay-at-home dad.
Oh.
So, Legoland is right around the corner.
Yes.
I have passes with me and my son.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go take him there. And I took him there during spring break for 1 week, and I could not get on anything. And this impatient little ass was, upset because you'd have to wait 20 minutes to ride a fucking 5-minute ride.
Yeah, because there's so many kids there.
And it's crowded as fuck. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I go back the next week, same thing. And at one point, I like turned to one of the park attendants and was like, why is it crowded on a Wednesday? Like, people should be in school. And then they pointed out to me that it was spring break. I was like, oh, makes perfect fucking sense.
Yep.
All you little spring breakers, like, I know that the state survives on tourism,
Yeah.
but fuck off. Don't come down here. I don't want you here. You're fucking killing my vibe.
There are two types of Floridians: the people that love the tourists, because they, usually because their work, survives on that income,
Yeah.
or they hate the tourists because it just makes everything busy. The roads, the restaurants, the
I'm firmly in the other camp.
Yeah,
I
same.
also hated going to beaches on the weekends where I was with my dad and it'd be full of fucking people.
Yep.
Because I liked to skimboard. I don't like the beach, but skimboarding is fun.
Yeah.
Can't do that when there's a billion people from this way to that way, But yeah, I was just curious about your time with spring break. Fuck it, it's awful. It's the worst.
Yeah. So, Will, I know you watched a lot of movies.
I did.
On your, you actually went to a Warhammer tournament. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I worked one of the events in Kansas City, Missouri
Nice.
this week. I was looking forward to watching a movie that I had not watched before on the flight to and from. And you had suggested that I watch Training Day a while ago because I do, in fact, like David Ayer, even though Suicide Squad was awful.
You're a big David Ayer stan, and I cannot believe you've never seen Training Day.
I didn't know, because I know directed by stuff, but I didn't know this was like he wrote it and this is what put him on the
Antoine
map.
Fuqua directed it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say after I texted you saying Training Day was fucking awesome,
Yeah.
you told me that he also wrote Fast and the Furious, the first one, right?
Yeah, like the same year. Yeah.
Yeah, which is unreal.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, Training Day was amazing. I cannot believe I have not seen it. And it came out in like, what, 2000, was it 97?
No, it was like 2001.
It was 2001?
I think.
That's crazy,
That
man.
feels right. But yeah, it was
does
a
feel right.
big movie for Denzel and Ethan Hawke. I think Denzel may have been nominated.
Really, his
Best
performance
actor.
was fantastic.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so was
I mean,
Ethan
it's
Hawke.
one of his
Every-
best.
Everybody was doing
It's
so
crazy.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a cool movie.
Yeah.
And then on the flight back, I watched Whiplash.
That's
which
right. You'd never seen that either.
I'd never seen Whiplash. 2014. Did you know Whiplash is a Blumhouse film?
I did not know
It's
that.
a Blumhouse film.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked by that too.
Written and directed by Damien Chazelle.
That's right.
Chazelle? I think I'm saying that right.
But probably.
And if you don't know him, you probably know La La Land.
Yes, I did.
I think that was his follow-up to Whiplash.
Haley asked me, what else has this guy done? And it was La La Land. And I want to say he did
First
like...
Man.
Was it First Man? Did he did 10 Cloverfield Lane 2, I want to say. Or it's one of the... Yeah.
Like, did he write on it, maybe?
I don't know which what he
think he
did. Yeah,
directed it.
check it out.
Yeah, I'll
but
check
it was interesting. I found that to be very interesting. But holy shit, Whiplash has Miles Teller in it, and Miles Teller was the character, the actor that the other kid who is in Card Counter should have been.
Yes,
and
I
not,
agree.
And not the other.
And he's really good.
He's fantastic. He's so fucking good in Whiplash. My God.
You know who else is good, though?
What? J.K. Simmons?
Yes.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is fucking fantastic.
Not my fucking tempo.
I did not expect that movie to be about abuse. I honestly thought that film was just like a kid who's a prodigy rising to the challenge.
Yeah.
And then it's slow, like the moment that the movie kind of explains to you, like, it shows doesn't tell you what it's actually about, was brilliant.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the ending only because
Oh,
like
man.
it was neat to see Miles Teller take back his power and really show everybody what he was made of, that he is one of the greats.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to see consequences for J.K. Simmons' character.
I think that's the point, though, is like, it's because, like you said, the movie is about, oh, God damn it. What
A
is
power dynamic.
Yeah, but a monster who is abusing their
Yes.
authority. But the reason he's able to get away with it is because everyone loves him and looks up to him and wants his approval because he is good. He is a good teacher.
Yes.
And he is very good at what he does.
Yeah.
But he's also a monster, and that's how he's able to maintain his power. It's because no one will rat him out. Like, they don't want to get him in trouble. In fact, I think the only reason he even gets fired from that place is because Miles Teller's dad threatens to sue and reports
Someone
on him,
contacts a lawyer who contacts his dad.
right?
And that's how he gets in touch and can kind of snitch on him.
And it wasn't any of the students directly. Yeah, it was his dad who wanted him to get in trouble. And it's about how people like that stay in power and like they don't usually get outed. Like, maybe there's whispers that like, hey, that guy's a huge fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, don't go anywhere near him. But they will maintain their power. Like, those monsters die comfortably at home, typically, is the thing, And yeah, he even at that last scene in that movie tries to get that kid again.
Yeah,
And
one last time.
heartbreaking.
It is. It's so
heartbreaking.
So here's a fun one, Jared.
Yeah.
So I watched that on the plane.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where J.K. Simmons turns to Miles and says, "I know it's you who fucking ratted me out."
Yep.
And then
That's when he plays a different song than what he practiced for. Or
my
something,
TV monitor turned off.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, okay, well, my next flight, I'll watch the rest. Get on my next flight. Does not have Whiplash, but it has a shit ton of new movies.
Yeah.
So I did not get to see the end of that film until it was 2 nights ago.
That's
I watched it
brutal.
with Haley.
Oh, man.
And so watching him run off stage, it hurt me.
Yeah.
But then him getting back on and just because he memorized Whiplash and the other one. I can't remember the other name of the movement.
It's been too long. I don't know the name of the movement.
But like, oh man, that was such a cool scene. But I really wanted to see Terrence go down. Yeah. But because my last flight had new movies on it, I was able to watch the majority of Creed 3. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
That movie is awesome. I also found out that Ryan Coogler did not do Creed 2. You want to know who did Creed 2?
Who did that?
The guy who's doing the new Transformers movie.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
I've heard bad things.
I don't fucking care. It's got the Beast Wars characters in it. And I'm seeing that on Father's Day with my dad. That's our Father's Day movie.
I think you're going to be let down.
I think you're going to be right. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Pete Davidson's apparently the main fucking Autobot.
No.
Yeah, he's Mirage.
No.
Yes, he is. He's Mirage.
Okay, I was like sick of Timothy Oliphant for a while.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
really?
okay, he's great. I actually like him now. After I think Dune is what turned me around.
You mean Timothée Chalamet?
Oh my God, you're right. Timothy Oliphant is the guy from Justified.
Got you, boo. No problem.
Thank you. Timothy Chalamet, because the more pretentious French name, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the John Mulaney joke. I was like, who is this boy?
He's this little twink.
But then Dune, I watched Dune and I was like, all right, he fucking rules.
Yeah, he's good. He's good at what he
in.
does.
But Pete Davidson, like, maybe I'll feel differently when I see Bodies, but I know him from SNL well enough that I'm like, this fucking guy.
Bodies is great. Actually, we do need to actually have a conversation about what we're gonna do for October.
Okay, hell yeah.
But we'll table that.
Absolutely.
Creed 3 fucking rules. Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
I'm so fucking glad that he's picking up directing. I want to see more from him.
So cool.
Because he grew up with the same shit that me and you did.
Yeah.
And he's taking
Same influences.
his love of anime and video games
That's what I've
and
heard.
plugging it right into this film.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you, the opening fight where Creed is like, it's his last fight. He's defending his title, and he's getting his ass whooped. He's getting fucked up. But while he's getting fucked up, he's like taking notes of his opponent's weaknesses, his flaws on his body. And he like, there's certain points where he like dodges a hit and rolls out, and it kind of slow-mos, and you can watch his eyes track the back part of this guy's side. And then when he goes for the kill shot, the guy swings and it slows down, and he like ducks under and turns to the side and pops him in the side, and then he gets up and the guy swings again and he ducks under and then goes to the side and pops it. And like the camera follows his movements, kind of like the camera from fucking Chappie, the over the shoulder third
And Elysium too, right?
No, sorry, Elysium. Sorry, in
Okay,
Elysium.
because I remember
yes.
Elysium had a couple scenes like that. Yeah.
He does that, but he does that with a really clean shot. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, Jared, this is so fucking awesome. And I didn't get to finish that one either. I had to rent it soon because I got to the title fight between him and Jonathan Majors. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good. Creed fucking rules, and the moment that you want to watch any of them, bro, I am in the fucking seat. I'm ready to watch those with you, bro.
We may figure out if we make this part of the podcast, but we'll have to do the Creed trilogy, and then I recently got all 5 Bourne films.
That's right. We do have to do the Bourne movies.
I want to work my way through because I've only seen like 2 of them.
Yeah, we could do like a trio thing where we just like burn through the plots because the Creed plots are kind of thin,
right? And we could probably talk about all 3 in one episode. You mean
easily? Yeah. But like, there's overarching themes and there's really cool things that they call back to the originals and stuff.
Right.
I like these films.
I don't need to see all the Rocky movies.
You don't.
Right. Okay.
There's two that you need to see, but that's it.
Is it 1 and 2?
It's 1 and 4.
Oh God. Apollo is in
the first one and the second one and the fourth one and I think the third one. Apollo's in 4 movies, but I'm not going to tell you what happens.
I think I know what happens to him in 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and that one I definitely need to see. Right.
Yes. Well, as I said,
because he comes back in like
1 and 4.
Right?
1 and 4. Those are the ones you have to see. Those are the most important ones.
Okay.
By far.
I might have to do that.
Yeah, set aside some time. I'll watch them with you.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned Damien Chazelle worked on 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes,
he did write on it. But
he wrote on it.
He just wrote on it. Yeah, and that's what I figured when I hear stuff like that. I'm like, oh, he must have only wrote on it. I don't know him to be the director of that.
That movie is fucking amazing.
It's one of your favorites, right?
It is one of my favorites, and I will take what I can get from that universe.
Yeah.
I know you didn't really care for the first one. I really enjoyed it.
I was pretty let down from it, but I had a headache from it in the theater.
No, I gotcha. The 10 Cloverfield Lane is the penultimate. That is a fucking great movie. And if I had to get that garbage one afterwards in order to get this one in the middle, I'll take it every single fucking day.
Yeah, yeah.
If you take anything from this episode, watch 10 Cloverfield Lane.
So Damien also, his most recent film came out last year. It's called Babylon.
Okay.
Nobody fucking saw it. It's completely slept on. But apparently it might be good. I want to watch it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Put it on the list. You've got the list. Just put it on the list.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see it because it sounds fascinating, but it apparently was kind of a flop. Like, especially because, La La Land really put him on the map. Whiplash was a big debut for him. And then La La Land, of course,
was big as well.
Almost won Best Picture, famously.
Yeah.
But I feel like First Man was like a little more muted in response. And then Babylon, I don't think, most people even knew what it was, let alone saw it. I think it completely bombed at the box office.
When did it come out?
Last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sucks to be him, man.
I know. And it's got an all-star cast, too.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is this like another Wes Anderson thing?
I don't know. It stars Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Diego Calva, Gene Smart.
It's about early era Hollywood.
It's about early era Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah, which, normally is like
whatever
fodder for awards season, but
yeah.
I don't think it'll even get a blip now.
That's sad. It sucks to be him. I'm good, man.
So
what's up?
Next time.
Oh, yeah.
On Debaser.
So next time on Debaser.
Part 3 of Florida Month.
That's right. We're going to drive up I-4, take the exit to 27, drive that all the way to I-95, and take that shit down.
Does I-95 go to Miami?
Yeah, I-95 goes down to Miami. Take I-95 all the way the fuck down to hot-ass Miami, where it's hot.
Will Smith's own Miami.
That's hot.
We're going to see...
Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain.
Which is the most Michael Bay movie
the Michael Bay movie.
That Michael Bay has ever made.
Is it?
Apparently, yeah. This is like... Either this is what got him started, or...
No, it was a late...
This is a late
film for him,
gotcha.
Because it came out kind of recently.
Yeah, but it's like, I have heard, it is the most Michael Bay of Michael Bay movies.
Huh. More so than like The Rock and Armageddon.
Yes.
Interesting. I have heard...
Well, I say that Armageddon has not Jerry Bruckheimer. No, it might be Bruckheimer.
Oh, yeah.
It has his fucking fingers all up in it, so that's more of a Bruckheimer film than a Michael Bay film.
Yeah.
And then, what was the other one you said? The Rock?
The Rock, yeah.
The Rock has substance. I need you to watch that movie.
I will. I absolutely will.
We're going to watch that one together, too, because it's fucking great.
Well, I'm excited to see Pain and Gain, because I've heard intriguing things about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's one of the more knowing Michael Bay movies, where he's kind of leaning into
his
own, like,
exactly.
His own bit.
That's what I get. I guess that's what I mean when I say it's the most Michael Bay of Michael Bay movies, because he knows his style.
Yeah.
So like,
I am immediately put off by the cast and like even the premise of this movie. But
who's in it?
It's The Rock and the racist guy from Boston, Marky Mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is
Mark
this?
Wahlberg?
Mark Wahlberg, thank you.
Of the Wahlburgers? Wahlbergs?
Or of Marky Mark. I mean,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
know.
Say hello to your mother for me. But also Tony Shalhoub has a big role in it.
I have no
and
idea
we
who
love
that
Tony
is.
Monk.
Who's that?
Monk.
Oh,
The pawn shop alien from Men in Black with the growing head.
Yes. I know Monk. I know of Monk.
We love Monk. Characters welcome, bro.
Was that USA or?
That's Eric Andre riffing on the USA on the tagline.
My
Yeah.
fucking God. Cool. I'm looking forward to
It's a jungle out there.
It is. You know what would have been good to have done, but I forgot about this film until right now. Scarface. 'Cause Scarface also takes place in Miami. Oh, also, I wanted to honorable mention either, because we were in St. Pete. St. Pete's not that far from Tampa. Magic Mike is another Florida movie that you can
I would
watch.
have loved to have done Magic Mike XXL.
I know, but they road trip up to Georgia.
Exactly. That's not a Florida movie.
So you
I
get
think
canceled.
Magic Mike 1 is boring.
Magic Mike
compared
1
to-
is in fact boring.
Yeah.
Well, Spring Breakers, thank you for listening. You can find our show on social media by searching for @DebaserPod. I'm Will Taylor. You can find me on Instagram. I've lost it. Oh, God damn it. I've lost it. I can't keep it up, dude. Pocket_infinity. I'm posting pictures.
Yeah, man.
I post. I'm working on some lizards, so those are gonna be on there soon.
Hell yeah.
I was actually up till 1 a.m. Last night.
No.
Painting. I was in the fucking zone.
Yeah.
It's not good whenever I'm like in the zone because I'll stay up way too late.
Yeah.
And then Jared, where can people find you?
Just find me at DebaserPod. Just follow the podcast.
Follow
man.
the podcast. Follow it, please. Appreciate that. Thanks, guys, for listening, and we'll catch you in Miami next time.
On the Debaser next time. Debaser is hosted by Will Taylor and Jared Rusk. Send your questions or comments to podcast@debaserpod.com. Want to help us out? Please tell someone to listen to Debaser. It also doesn't hurt to leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice, especially Apple Podcasts. Thank you for listening, and take care out there.